PB Kojiko. Welcome to Chatham-Kent Cougars football back for 2015. It is Mike Renier alongside Mike James. They've for some reason asked us back here to bring you this season. And we've got the Varsity squad in their home opener on this Saturday afternoon. And very different week number ones for these two squads. It is the Hamilton Hurricanes in town, and the Chatham-Kent Cougars will receive the football to begin this first quarter. And we'll talk about the week one results here in just a little bit. But right now, the Cougars will go back on offense. And brought down around the 20-yard line. Nice little return here, passing the 35 up towards the 40. And nice job by the return man for the Cougars. Finally, about three Hamilton players is what it takes to bring him down past the 35-yard line, around the 37 or so. So a pretty good starting position for the Cougars in their home opener.
Yeah, for a moment there, it looked like maybe the ball came loose, but they ruled the return man down. So the Cougars going to start out 1st and 10. Looks to be just inside their own 40-yard line.
Cougars looking for their opening win of the season, as they took it on the chin in week one, 39-0. Burlington coming away with that victory, so the Cougars would love to even up their record at 1-1. On the flip side, though, Hamilton comes in riding pretty high. They won their game also 39-0.
Yeah.
It's Forest City last week.
No, nothing at all.
Out of the shotgun formation, quarterback hands it off to the back, who finds a little seam along the near side and crosses the 45-yard line and finally spun out of bounds. And Schuhen with a nice opening carry, so the Cougars kind of setting the tone early on in this game, so good job on the ground.
Yeah, nice blocking there for Tanner Schuhen to get the edge and pick up a good chunk of yardage on that first play from scrimmage. Gain of about 9 yards on the spot there. And that quarterback for the Cougars today is number 16, John McCauley. Took that one on the shotgun formation. And they're going to measure this one, see how close exactly they are to that first down.
Be pretty close. Starting line was 37-yard line.
And certainly worth noting, the weather is a factor right now. The skies opened up a little bit earlier, and as you can tell, it is overcast, and it's a strong wind. The Cougars going into the wind here to start this game.
About a yard shy. So 2nd down and 1 here for the Cougars. And once again, they hand it on the ground. Looks like Schuhen gets the call once again, and that will be easily a first down as he picks up a 2-yard pickup up the middle, close to the 50-yard line. So the Cougars move the chains forward. Another 1st down and 10 coming up for Chatham-Kent.
Yeah, nice run there by Schuhen off that right side again. So first two plays, the Cougars electing to run on the right side of that offensive line. Fresh set of downs here with the lights, of course, on here at the Community Athletic Complex.
High snap, a good job by McCauley to bring it down, hand it off to the running back, who goes right up the middle, and looks like maybe about a 4-yard pickup as he gets to around the 53-yard line, close to midfield.
Gagne on the carry.
Gagne has the 3-yard pickup, so 2nd and 7 coming up now here for Chatham-Kent as they're inching towards midfield. McCauley again on the snap, and once again he hands it off to Schuhen on the ground. Spins away from one tackle, but couldn't get around that second man. And a small gain on 2nd down. He picks up probably 2 at the best, just shy of the midfield marker. 54-yard line, still in Cougars territory as we pass the 2-minute mark in this first quarter, just underway in a scoreless football game.
Yeah, McCauley heads to the sideline, so it looks like the Cougars going to punt this one away now with the 3rd and about 5, it looks like.
Josh Graham out to kick it away for the Cougars. Very high snap. Grant has to go back to field that football. Finally gets the kick away. It comes down around the 40-yard line of Hamilton, and it hops out of bounds. So some good field position to start off the Hurricanes' first offensive possession of this football game.
Yeah, it looked like that one went off the side of the foot of the kicker for the Cougars, netting just about 15 yards on that kick. So, as you mentioned, Mike, pretty good field position here for this Hamilton Hurricanes squad that's coming off a 39-0 victory over the Forest City Thunderbirds in Week 1.
So Liam Putt and the rest of the offense for the Hurricanes going to work for the first time here this evening in their own 41-yard line. Putt now hands it off to the running back, who has a little bit of a seam going down that right side and up to close to the 45, so it appears to be a good 4-yard pickup for Hamilton.
Yeah, Jacob Broad with the tackle there, number 24 for the Cougars, and Osei Higinwan with the carry. Speaking with the coaching staff before the game, they say he's committed to Laurier University and a key cog in the offense here for Hamilton.
Put in the shotgun formation. He drops back to pass, looking for somebody down that far side, and wide open was the receiver, and now he crosses the 45-yard line, and very good field position. 35-yard line of Chatham-Kent, so that was a significant pickup there for the Hurricanes of Hamilton.
It was hard to get a number on the receiver there. Looked like it might have been number 8, Clark Adams, with the reception, and beautifully thrown ball there right on the numbers, and then Adams able to turn upfield and pick up another 10-12 yards with his running ability as well. So nice second down play there from Hamilton.
Put back again to throw it in the air. He goes high in the air along the near side and overthrown. The receiver and defensive back tangled up heading towards the goal line, but it goes well over top of both of their heads. A good 5 yards overthrown, and that will be a second down coming up here for Hamilton.
Yeah, certainly the pass from Putt, a little bit long. Good coverage there from Ethan Bayless, though. Stride for stride with the receiver down that left side, and their feet getting tangled up just toward the end. Nice job by the officials realizing that was incidental contact and no flag.
Big defensive opportunity here for the Cougars, and before the play gets underway, it's whistled down. Flags flying all over the place along the far side on 2nd and 10. And it was such a quick whistle, you'd think it's against the visitors.
And right you are, Mike. They're marching this one back 5 yards on Hamilton.
Offside Hamilton.
So the offside 5-yard penalty makes it a little tougher now for Hamilton, but good news for the Cougars. Now 2nd and 15 coming up as the ball's pushed back. The 41-yard line is where it is. Back to passes, Put a little bit of pressure, gets it out of the hands, and now an interception possibility. Nice job there by the Cougars. It falls incomplete. And good job by the Cougars, and aided by that penalty, but this is another punting situation here for Hamilton as they, like the Cougars, come up short in their first possession of this game.
Nice coverage there on the defensive side of things for the Cougars. Ethan Bayless and Jacob Lindley had that receiver covered both in front and behind him, and that pass falling incomplete, and as you mentioned, nearly intercepted.
So in 3rd and 15, the Hamilton squad will punt it away, back towards midfield. Bit of a high snap. Punter recovers, and this goes high in the air along that far side. Hits the turf, and Cougars will mount an attempt of a return, but it won't get very far. Good kick from Beattie, and Cougars couldn't do much on that return. And they will take over now with just over 5 minutes gone in this first quarter in a scoreless football game.
Looked like that was Cade Hart with the return on that one. Number 22 for the Cougars. Not a lot he could do with that one. Pretty good coverage there from Hamilton. The Hurricanes getting down there quickly, and Hart had to wait for that one to bounce and play it on the bounce, and obviously that helped the Hamilton coverage get down there.
Cougars' tough loss on the road last weekend, trying to even up their record here in their home opener tonight at the Chatham-Kent Community Athletic Complex, and they have the football deep in their own territory, heading off to the ground once again and getting some good yardage on 1st and 10. Good job as they keep it on the ground. I think that was Schuin with his, what I believe is his 4th carry of the night, and he's looked pretty good very early on.
Yeah, obviously Schuin, the bell cow here for the Cougars offense, and if I'm not mistaken, we have yet to see the Cougars put the ball in the air, so gives you an idea, I think, of the offensive game plan here for the Cougars. Keep the ball on the ground, play a little ground control game, and keep that Hamilton offense off the field. Obviously very effective after we mentioned that 39-0 victory over Forest City last week.
Flag comes out. This one, I think, going against Chatham-Kent this time around. Flags come out before McCauley gets the pass, and now Cougars backing up what appears to be 5 yards. So after an 8-yard pickup on 1st down.
Oh,
Wow, it's
yeah. Offside on Hamilton.
So that will bring up
Offside on Hamilton.
a 1st down here for the Cougars. A little gift there as a penalty levied against Hamilton.
Well, that's certainly the Cougars happy to take that one and move a little further out of the shadow of their own end zone. And some decent field position now opens up your playbook a little bit more. Maybe now you feel maybe a little bit more comfortable putting the ball in the air.
Cougars pinned very deep in their own zone to begin this drive. They've made it to the 19. They keep it on the ground once again along that far side and trying to scramble past the 25-yard line. A little bit of a positive yardage run there for the Cougars. Not getting a whole lot, but moving in the right direction.
Was Jalen Butcher with the carry there, 23 for the Cougars.
Looks like a sizable 3-yard pickup for the Cougars. So that sets up a pretty important 2nd down and 7 here for Chatham-Kent as they want to keep this thing going after a short-lived possession in their first go-around. Coming up on the 7-minute mark of the first quarter. McCauley back to pass for what appears to be the first time here tonight, and he's got a guy, but it gets tangled up, looking for the flag, but Chatham-Kent not getting it.
Pass intended for number 23, Jalen Butcher.
Butcher couldn't come down with it. And so now a 3rd down and 7 coming up here for the Cougars.
Brings up a 3rd down and 7.
Butcher calling for a flag on that one, but from our angle anyway, it looked like it was just pretty good coverage, and that ball maybe slipped out of McCauley's hands a little bit too. That one wobbled in the air a little bit, hung up there, and certainly gave the defender plenty of time to get over.
Clock ticking away in this first quarter. The Cougars punting it away, and a little collision. Flag is down. And this could be benefiting the Cougars here as the Cougars punter was interfered with, it looks like there. So this looks like it's going to have Chatham-Kent keeping the football after that penalty. And not a smart one if you're Hamilton.
No, certainly about to get the football back in pretty good field position, and certainly would be aided by any kind of a decent return. But obviously hitting the kicker, a big no-no, and the Cougars will certainly take that one, and another penalty helping them out here and gives them possession of this football.
And hopefully Josh Graham came up a little bit hobbly after that collision, but hopefully he just gets a little rest and he'll be back at it. But a big gift there for the Cougars. They keep the football, and it's up now to the 37-yard line in their own territory. Still a scoreless football game. Home opener for the Varsity Cougars, welcoming in Hamilton and the Hurricanes. And a fresh set of down here, 4 downs for Chatham-Kent. 1st and 10. And handed off to the running back once again, getting a little bit of confusion on the defense. And a good job by the Cougars as they get a good 7, maybe 8 yards on the ground. 7 yards is what they have on the board, so 2nd and 3 coming up here, and a good run.
Yeah, nice run by Schuin there, and you got to like the way that he finished off that run as well, carrying and running over one of the one of the Hamilton Hurricane defenders before finally being dragged down, and Schuin certainly is a load.
High snap. Once again, they keep it on the ground, and this time running back runs into a brick wall and not getting any yardage at all. And that is number 28. I think that's Gagne this time around, who got the assignment to get the ball over the first down marker, but couldn't quite do it. He goes right back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and unfortunately, nice job there by Hamilton, and unfortunately for the Cougars, going to have to punt this one away. Can't take advantage of that roughing the kicker call, and in a position here to punt this one away again.
They've had a decent amount of success on the ground so far in the first half of this first quarter. But on 2nd and short, they couldn't convert, and now they'll have to punt it away. And that is what they do. A high kick comes down around the 45-yard line of Hamilton, and now they will cross midfield. Nice little return coming up here past the 50-yard line of the Cougars to around the 47. So good field position here for Hamilton after a high, but not necessarily all that long punt by the Chatham-Kent Cougars.
And again, that wind, certainly a factor right there. You're kicking directly into the wind, and you could see that ball almost just die up in the air and come straight down. A nice job by Marco Aref to pick that one up on the bounce, on the run, and get a pretty decent return out of it. So nice field position here for the Hamilton Hurricanes after their defense coming up with a big stop after a couple penalties hurt them.
1st and 10 Hamilton. There's Put again, going backwards, finds his receiver. A little dump pass and getting some yards after the catch here. Still on his feet, passing the 35-yard line, finding some open room, and he's going right to the big house. A touchdown for the Hamilton Hurricanes. After a short little dump pass by the quarterback, Put finds his man, and great agility. Going right into the end zone, giving Hamilton the early lead. 5:26 remaining in the opening quarter.
Osei Iginwin with the touchdown reception there, 47 yards. But I think the Cougars coaching staff, after watching the tape, probably not going to be too happy with the tackling effort there. A bunch of arm tackles that just fail, and eventually that screen pass taken to the house. But certainly the Cougars had at least 2 or 3 opportunities to bring the running back down, but just weren't able to do it.
So again went in for 6, major score, and Hamilton now up 7-0 with the extra point.
That makes the score Hamilton 7, Chatham-Kent no score.
9:34 into this opening quarter here at the Chatham-Kent Community Athletic Complex, and Hamilton hits a score sheet first. Osei Ginwin doing all the work after a short pass from Put. And an impressive run, again, as Mike mentioned. Not the greatest effort in terms of tackling with the Cougars D. And that is not really a recipe for success if you're Chatham-Kent. So 7-0 now for Hamilton. The Cougars will get the football back as the Hurricanes changing things up here, and the wind starting to swirl around a little bit, picking up here at the athletic complex. We've had a fair amount of rain already here this afternoon after a hot and humid morning. Colder weather coming right in here fast and furious as it's cooled down quite a bit.
It's actually hard to believe. I would say easily 20 degrees the temperature has dropped between this afternoon and where we're at right now in terms of the temperature. It's just unreal.
More rain appears to be on its way, so we'll see. Hopefully we can squeeze in this football game without any more inclement weather, but we'll see. The wind's picking up here as we get into the final half of the first quarter. Cougars taking over on offense once again as they bring it past the 30-yard line and brought down around the 32. So some fairly decent position here for the Cougars offense to do some work and try and get back into this football game, hopefully tied up now down 7-0.
Well, interestingly enough, and certainly there's no doubt the weather will play a factor here, but and it is an extremely strong breeze outside, but the Cougars so far are just putting the ball in the air one time on their possessions, and we'll see at what point the Cougars decide to open up the offense maybe a little bit. We'll certainly take note of that in the second quarter when they've got the wind at their back, if their offensive game plan changes at all.
1st and 10, Cougars keep it on the ground, and a bit of a wall right around the 35-yard line, so a very minimal pickup on the ground for Chatham-Kent. Schuin getting the assignment once again, and it looks like he got 2 yards.
And I mentioned on the last drive, Schuin is certainly a load to bring down. He's listed at just 5'7", but 195 pounds, so he's built pretty low to the ground, a low center of gravity, and there's no doubt he can bowl you over.
4.5 to play, opening quarter. Hamilton scoring a major on their last possession. Cougars trying to answer the bell right here. Quarterback in the shotgun position, and a little trouble with the handoff now up the middle. It looked like a little trickery as quarterback hangs on to it.
Another 3 or 4 yards.
And McCauley didn't look all that smooth as he looked to hand it off to the running back, kept the ball himself, and only getting about a 3-yard pickup there. So still 3rd and 5 coming up here for the Cougars. Looks like they're going to kick this one away again.
Well, they actually made a change there at quarterback. That was Jalen Butcher who took that snap. And Butcher is listed as a running back / quarterback, and we've seen Butcher play quarterback before. So that time they go with the read option and they put the play action, and they let Jalen Butcher keep it.
And trying to get the first down on 3rd down, and a good job by Schuin with 3.5 to play in the first quarter. And the Cougars doing a bit of gambling there. Looks like it pays off as they will move the chains, putting the ball in Schuin's hands, and he has been pretty successful with it in this first quarter.
That run is good enough for a first down.
Up to close to the 43-yard line, Cougar territory, so they get a fresh set of downs as they gamble on the 3rd and 5. Under 3 to play in the opening quarter. Once again, they keep it on the ground off to the right side, past the 45-yard line, and throwing his body in the way to get a couple of extra yards up to close to the 48. And Butcher again getting some good yardage on first down.
Yeah, nice job there by Jalen Butcher. Gets around the corner and then sees that he's got a wall of defenders in front of him and just gets his head down and ramps up the speed and picks up an extra yard or so, just fighting for every yard that he can get.
Gets half the yardage for first down. 2nd and 5 coming up to keep it on the ground once again. Lots of room up the middle to move for the Cougars up to the 50-yard line. More than enough to secure another first down. And once again, kind of the two-headed monster on the ground for the Chatham-Kent Cougars as they go back to Schuin once again, and he gets up to midfield. It was past midfield, actually, for that first down.
A great job by the offensive line there. It looked like Hamilton coming with a bit of a blitz, and the offensive line just parted the seas, and Schuin had a busload size hole to run through and made no mistake on that good chunky yardage, as you mentioned, Mike, and picking up the first down.
1st and 10 of the 50. Quarterback keeping the football, and no dice, actually losing a couple of yards. And this will bring up 2nd and 12. The defense not fooled there as McCauley tried to keep it himself and sneak through the middle, but Hamilton's D would have none of that.
Lost the yard on the play, brings up 2nd down 11.
So McCauley drops the yard, 2nd and 11. 70 seconds remaining in quarter number 1. Dropping back to pass once again, going downfield in big coverage, and now a flag is out. That looks like it's going to benefit the Chatham-Kent Cougars. And interference, you would think, will be the call here. It looks like Butcher was the intended receiver. He was double-teamed heading down the right side, and officiating crew saying he was interfered with, so the Cougars will certainly take that and move the chains. And some great field position coming up here.
Yeah, it was pretty good coverage downfield from Hamilton, actually, but I think it was the defender. There were two defenders in the area, and it was the defender that was closest to his own end zone, 24, Sam Restivo, I think, that was kind of impeding his progress, and that's why you saw the flag came out. I mean, some might argue maybe that ball a bit uncatchable, but at the same time, if the defensive back isn't impeding his progress, maybe he can get there. So it was close enough to throw the flag, and the Cougars get the first down.
So they move up to the 35-yard line of Hamilton. Once again, they will keep it on the ground, and they have some tough times getting past that 35. Very small gain. Right, looks like it's right back to that line of scrimmage, so no gain on 1st and 10. So that'll bring up 2nd and long here for the Cougars.
Well, right now, I'm sure the Cougars would be happy to let this clock get down so that their 3rd down would be with the win, because then the field goal attempt at least would be makeable if they came up short.
2nd and 10, quarterback drops, looks to pass along that far side. Open, he's got a guy, and goes right through his fingertips. Trying to find the intended receiver along that far side.
It looks
like it's Butcher, I believe, again. And the pass along that far side from McCauley looked to be a pretty good toss and just wasn't able to be hauled in by Butcher. And until that very last moment, he had some room to himself.
Yeah, it was a pretty good job by the defender there as well. Got there at the same time as the ball. Certainly Butcher had a chance, but he was challenged. Now the punter is on the field, but with this kind of field position, wouldn't surprise me if it was a fake.
I think he thought about it for a minute, but it is a punt along the near side, and it goes out of bounds around the 20-yard line in that general area. And that will bring an end to the first quarter, where the Cougars kick it away, and they remain down 7-0 to Hamilton.
Pretty good job so far by both squads. Obviously, Hamilton with the only score at this point, but pretty good job by the Cougars offense, chugging along, getting some first downs, and keeping this one close. Their defense playing pretty well, aside from that one big play that Hamilton was able to record on the touchdown, the 47-yard touchdown reception. But aside from that, with this one pretty close to this point.
The Cougars should be happy with how they played that first quarter, again, minus the maybe the tackling effort on that touchdown run for Hamilton, but overall still a very close football game. 7-0. Hamilton has the lead and has the football back after the punt by the Cougars at the end of the first quarter. So they take over their own 21-yard line, so pretty good position for the Cougars D, and they want to continue to pin them down deep. And Hamilton now will keep it on the ground and not get a whole lot of yardage on 1st and 10. I think 2 yards is what they got.
Number 26 on the carry. Gain of a couple brings up 2nd down.
Looked like that was Kyle Stewart, the big defensive tackle, in the primary tackler on that one for the Cougars. Good job on the stop on the short gain.
Josh Shador on the carry for the Hurricanes. 2nd and 8 coming up here, so an important play for the Cougars D as they go to the air. Hamilton does. It is a completed pass and a first down and missed tackle. And that will give Hamilton an extra 5 or 6 yards before he gets taken out at the 45-yard line. And Billy Olds, number 9 for Hamilton. Good concentration there and good stuff after the catch, too, to get those extra, as I mentioned, 5 or 6 yards to bring it up to the 45-yard line.
Looked like it was Ethan Bayless and one of his defensive back teammates got kind of tangled up trying to make that tackle, and they both kind of overrun it and allowed the receiver to pick up a nice another chunky yardage there for the first down.
1st and 10 Hamilton, wind swirling around, and on 1st and 10, took a little while, but the handoff to the running back right up the middle, and about close to a 4-yard pickup for the Hurricanes. And that's number 30 again, one getting the call. He has been quite good in the first half of this football game, but that's pretty much as advertised.
Yeah, it certainly is. As we mentioned, committed to Laurier University, and you mentioned the wind and the temperatures on it. It's days like this where we really appreciate Jeff Brooks and his fine camera work outside the booth, as opposed to us located inside the booth. So Thank you, Jeff.
He's very selfless, that Jeff Brooks. Backbone of this broadcast, as it's pass completed past the 50-yard line for Hamilton, but a flag does come out in the Cougars' backfield around the 35-yard line, so we'll see the call on this.
Boy, that flag coming, it looked like as the tackle was being made. I wonder if this is going to be a face mask at the end of it. Again, it looks like the signal is a face. Yeah, it's a face mask. So it was because the flag came out after the catch was made, just as the tackle was being made. So you can tack on some more yardage there at the end of the catch, and big reception for Hamilton, moving the sticks now pretty efficiently.
Big reception, big penalty against Chatham-Kent. So this brings the football to the 34 or 33-yard line in Cougar territory. So another opportunity here for the Hurricanes as they're knocking on the door once again. 1st and 10, just over 2 gone in the second quarter. They keep it on the ground and up the middle, evading one tackle, finally brought down after about a 2-yard pickup. And Joel Claremont with the assignment that time around for Hamilton.
And Raymond Bustillo with the tackle there, number 1, the defensive back. Nice tackle there, Bustillo. Was minimal gain on that one, just 2 yards on that sure tackle.
So again, another important play on 2nd down and long here for the Cougars D. And once again, quarterback for Hamilton looks around a little bit and decides to keep it off the fake pass, and he's got some room along the near side. And looks to be a little short for Hamilton, but a good effort by the Hurricanes quarterback punt as he kept that football. Less than 2 yards short of that first down marker here, so some decision times for Hamilton.
Yard and a half for sure to go.
Connor Carosello, number 10. He is now under center for the Hurricanes. Didn't see that switch from punt. But he gets the call at quarterback. And a tall quarterback, 6'4", 190. Hard to miss on that football field. And a timeout, I think, is being called here.
It looked like it was a broken play on that last play. It looked like he was looking to dump it off. Maybe he was looking for some kind of a screen pass, and there was nobody in the flats to throw the football to, and then just kind of scanned the field, didn't see a receiver that he liked, so he just tucked it and ran it, and good chunky yardage on the scramble, and brings up that short 3rd down conversion. But as you mentioned, the change at quarterback for Hamilton, not sure if the starter got banged up a little bit, or if maybe Hamilton's just trying to work them both into the game.
Putt had a good start to this game. Carosello's back on the field.
Is your quarterback banged up, or you guys, was this part of the plan? Both of them to call both. Okay. So just speaking with the coaching staff for Hamilton, I understand it was part of the plan to have both of them play today. So Carosello just taking some snaps right now.
Takes another one, hands it off to the running back up the middle, and a whole bunch of white and green jerseys
Looks like you got it.
trying to prevent that first down. But I think, they now make the signal that the first down was obtained for Hamilton, so they go right up the gut and get the 2 yards that they needed for that first down. So they move the chains, but the 23-yard line is here for the Cougars. So again, good field position and a fresh set of downs for the Hurricanes.
Good numbers too for that Hamilton squad. Looks like they've got upwards of about 40 kids on the squad. So good job by Hamilton getting lots of players out.
Not much there.
And pretty much back to the line of scrimmage on that run for Hamilton off the handoff from Carosello. And I think actually they might have dropped half a yard there. So
Joel Claremont on the carry.
good job by the Cougars D there, as they want to be as stingy as they can, trying to prevent any more points on the board. as we're approaching 5 minutes into the second quarter.
And, you know, speaking of numbers, the Cougars doing a good job this year as well, expanding kind of the recruiting, if you will, and getting some extra players out. They're close to that 40 mark.
2nd and 10, Carazello back to pass, and he's got it, man, but off of the fingertips, he had it along that far side and just kind of bobbled it at the last moment, and it does fall incomplete for Hamilton, so a bit of a break there, big break, I should say, for the Cougars. And 3rd and 10 from the 22-yard line now is the situation for the Hurricanes.
Yeah, we had an injured player down for a moment, but looks to be back up again. One of the offensive linemen for Hamilton was big number 56, John DeBerardo, but he's back up. Looks like he's going to be all right, jogs off the field. But that ball, you have to keep in mind, too, it rained today, so that ball probably a little bit wet. And looked like that one just slipped right through the hands of the receiver. And wasn't able to squeeze it and pull it in. Now, remember, this field goal into a stiff wind, but a 30-yard attempt.
Trying to make it a 10-point game and a 10-point lead for Hamilton. High snap brought down. Kick is up. Does it have the legs? Does not look like it. Falls short. And the Cougars will run it out. And so that big wind, that wind, as you mentioned, Michael, was quite a factor in that kick there. It seemed to go up and hit a brick wall as it was about halfway towards the goal.
Yeah, and for those of you, maybe you can even hear it howling outside our windows of the booth here. It is extremely strong out there, so certainly the weather a factor. And as you mentioned, remains to be seen if the rain will hold out as we approach halftime and into the second half.
So Cougars do get the ball back, but they're deep in their own end. 7-yard line is where they are, and trailing 7-0. So say Ginwin getting the touchdown.
The officials chatting right now, not exactly sure what it is they're talking about, and I'm sure they'll tell us in a moment. But now the Cougars have the ball with the wind at their back, so it'll be interesting to see if the game plan was to keep the ball on the ground against Hamilton, and maybe that's the Cougars' strong suit, or if maybe the wind was a factor and they open it up a little bit more here in the second quarter.
We'll find out deep in their own zone. 5 and change gone by in the second quarter. They keep it on the ground once again. The first play of this drive. And they pick up, I'd say, about half the distance for another first down. About 5 on the ground. Schuin once again with the carry.
Boy, Schuin just carrying the load today. Butcher, they've mixed in Butcher a few times, but Schuin is really the workhorse of this offense so far. You can tell, and does a pretty good job there between the tackles, and even getting the edge for his size and stature. Does a pretty good job turning the corner.
So 5 yards in the ground there. Another big play on 2nd and 5 deep in their own zone at the 12-yard line. Cougars down 7-0 to Hamilton. Quarterback back to pass. Now can't find anybody downfield. Tries to run it himself. Does not get very far past the line of scrimmage and will be short of the first down. And McCauley gets a couple on the ground himself. But a 3rd and 3, it appears, for Chatham-Kent, again deep in their own zone. Not the results they wanted in this drive.
Yeah, McCauley, that clock in the back of his head going off, knowing he didn't have much time back there to survey the field and couldn't find a receiver that he wanted to throw to, and just tucked it in short gain. And the Cougars now forced to punt this one away deep in their own zone. Interesting to see if they will actually punt it or give up the safety. Looks like they're going to give up the safety.
That's what they do. They kneel down. And the lead will be even bigger now for Hamilton. Playing the percentages a little bit. Again, with that wind swirling around here at the Chatham-Kent Athletic Complex on this very gray and wet Saturday in Chatham-Kent. Home opener for the Cougars now. They find themselves down 9-0 after that safety.
Yeah, the one reason I thought maybe there was a chance that they would kick it, and it really depends on how strong your kicking game is because they had that strong wind at their back. If you can boom a pretty big kick, maybe you take the chance and you do kick it away. But Cougars feeling like field position, the better choice, so they were happy to take the safety, give up the 2 points, and as you mentioned, play the percentages.
8:20 to go in the first half. Cougars now down 9-0 after that safety. Football for Hamilton at their own 35. They leave it on the ground, cutting off to the right side, finding a big hole. First down and a lot more now on the ground for the Hurricanes. And big 25, Joel Claremont getting the assignment that time around, and a lot of open grass there for Claremont to work with. And he gets up to the midfield marker and actually into Chatham-Kent territory to the 54, the Cougars.
Yeah, big carry there. One of the few carries, actually, because as we've mentioned, Osai Iginwan is the prime-time ball carrier for Hamilton, but they mix it up a little bit there, and it certainly works to their advantage. No problem there at all.
So 1st and 10 into Cougars territory. Once again, the handoff to the running back, and he goes along that opposite side this time around, and that was going back to Iginwan.
No gain, maybe.
I'd say 1 yard on the ground there.
Osai on the carry.
We got a flag on the field.
We do have a flag down.
Back to the 35 in the Cougars backfield.
It's
They're
against
getting the,
Hamilton.
Back in the defensive
33 Carter Wood.
backfield. But this will push, as you mentioned, Michael, the football back.
Holding call goes against
And
Hamilton.
fair penalty there all the way back to the 46-yard line of the Hurricanes.
Yeah, holding call against Hamilton.
Hamilton
And that flag coming on the far side, so where that run was headed on that far side, the flag comes in, so looks like it was likely one of the offensive linemen on that far side, maybe one of the receivers gets flagged.
So first down remains for Hamilton, but now 20 to gain, and a pass complete to the 50-yard line. Another flag comes out, pass complete, and it comes past the 45-yard line in Cougar territory. But once again, the flag is in that Hamilton backfield this time.
Marco Arif with the catch, number 1.
Golds on the reception.
Does a good job tiptoeing that sideline, staying in bounds, and looks like this one's going to go against the Cougars. Roughing the passer is the call there.
A couple of tough penalties, one either way, back-to-back. And again, deep into Cougar territory comes this football after that big-time penalty.
Roughing the passer call goes against Chatham-Kent.
And this will bring the football to the 30-yard line of the Cougars. And Hamilton up 9-0.
Boy, that really negates that first penalty that really helped the Cougars, and that's unfortunate. Tack that on to the end of that nice catch and run, and Hamilton cooking on offense again.
Raindrops coming back here in Chatham-Kent right now, and a pass complete along the near side.
Complete. Game about 6. Game of 6.
And bringing that one down for the Hurricanes, that is
Chiavarella.
for 13. Actually, we haven't seen very much of him so far. We actually, in the pregame, from one of the coaches, he was saying that's one of the top targets on the team, but we haven't called his name too often.
Chavarella, I believe. I made an error because he did explain to us that it's Chevarella, I believe.
That's why we need to write down the phonetics. We never do.
Kind of like a Chevy. Yeah, we understand he's committed to Guelph, the University of Guelph, so good for him.
6-yard pickup for Chevarella, and another pass complete along that far sideline, trying to scramble for the extra 4 yards to move the chains. And it looks like they do, so 1st and 10 once again coming up here for Hamilton.
You're at about the 11-yard line.
Pretty close to a 1st and goal, but just outside the 10. And once again, the offense for the Hamilton Hurricanes, pitting the Cougars D back quite a bit. 6 minutes even to go in this first half. 9-0 Hurricanes. They keep it on the ground. A little shovel pass to the running back and trying to get back to the line of scrimmage. Good job there by the Cougars D.
Maybe one.
Looked like a good job by Ricky O'Rourke coming up to fill in there. Number 1 for the Cougars. The linebacker. 5'10", 210.
Number 91, Kyle Stewart.
He didn't really move the chains at all, so right back to the line of scrimmage. So this will be second and a very long 9. Nine nothing Hamilton looking for more deep in the Cougars territory up to the 10-yard line. Just short of second and goal. Quarterback trying to find somebody downfield. Can't do it first time around. Now he throws it into the end zone. And it is caught for the touchdown for Hamilton. Just got his feet in and looked like he was covered pretty well by a couple of Cougars defenders, but somehow he hauls it in. And another major score here for the Hurricanes. Now makes it for the time being 15-0.
Looks like that was Chevarella that time, 13 again with the reception, and really just too much time in the pocket for the quarterback for Hamilton, and eventually flushed out of the pocket and plenty of time to survey the field and finds a receiver come open who by that point had probably broken off his route and improvised because the QB had just had so much time.
And another point on the kick there, so 16-0 for the Hamilton Hurricanes over the Cougars. 5:08 to go as the varsity squad has their home opener on this, once again, wet Saturday night.
Well, certainly the roughing the passer penalty on the big reception by Hamilton where they tacked that on was really just a tough play to overcome for the Cougars. Ended up in a big gainer when you combined it with the penalty and gave Hamilton a fresh set of downs, and from there they really just kind of rolled into the end zone. So this Hamilton squad certainly challenging the Cougars defense here in the first half. As you mentioned, with just 5:08 to go, the Cougars certainly, you got to think the coaching staff would just love to get some points on the board here before the end of the half, especially after coming off a shutout loss in Burlington. You want to give the players a little something, give them a little bit of boost, some confidence, knowing that you can put the ball into the end zone or through the uprights. Just get that the donut off the board.
Still plenty of time in this first half to get something going for the offense for the Cougars, but you think they want to start to get something together now. 16-0 for the Hurricanes as they will kick it away. 3 Cougars in deep, inside their own 10. And this one does not have the distance. It has height as they were trying to get that football back, I believe. And did they? Short kick, and I believe Hamilton kicks it. It goes the requisite 10 yards. And everything is going the Hurricanes' way here, as that looked to be certainly by design. Kicking it up high, not very long. And catching the Cougars napping. And so Hamilton will retain possession here up by 16. So another bad break for the Cougars. This is second quarter, not going their way.
Well, really, I'm going to give the credit to the call from the Hamilton staff, and the receiver on that far side looked like he was about 3 feet above everybody else. Looked like Superman getting up there to grab that ball out of the air. Fantastic job by the Hamilton squad, and the receiver on that far side who was able to jump up and grab that football and give the Hurricanes the football back on offense.
Here's Carosello once again, quarterback back to pass right up along that far side, and he picks it off of the turf. That is a completed pass past the 35 and the 30-yard line inside the 30 of the Cougars. And a quick first down as the Hurricanes hang on to the football and are looking for more. Inside the 4.5 minutes to go mark here in this first half. And the momentum all Hurricanes right now. Carosello once again back to pass, trying to find somebody open, and finds his receiver once again in double coverage, but he comes away with it, evades a couple of tackles, still on his feet inside the 20-yard line, so they get deeper into Cougar territory. Another pass completion for Connor Carosello.
And that ball is just right on target, hitting the receivers in stride and boy, that really makes the receiver's job so much easier, and you can make so many more plays with the football with your feet after the catch, and that's exactly what his receivers are doing. So this Hamilton offense is just humming along right now. The Cougars defense going to need to come up with a big play here, whether it be an interception or a sack or a tackle for a loss, some kind of momentum stopper right now.
Carasello on fire offensively for Hamilton. He goes towards the end zone trying to find his man, and he finds one in the end zone. Another touchdown, a major score for Hamilton. And he was pretty much all alone in that near corner.
Number 9.
And it looks like Olds was the young fellow who brought that one down for another major.
Yeah, Billy Olds, the receiver, just finds an opening in the corner of the end zone, and good job by Hamilton, and a great job by the quarterback, who just firing on all cylinders right now, finding his receivers at will, and really Hamilton's offense just clicking.
So now 22 on the board for the Hurricanes, looking for another. And it is up and through, so now a 23 point lead here for Hamilton over the Cougars as the second quarter seems to be getting away from them a little bit.
Yeah, it certainly does when you look back on it. It was, a 7-0 lead for Hamilton at the end of the first quarter, and it's just so kind of ironic, I guess, too, because Hamilton had the wind at their back for that first quarter. They switch, and for whatever reason, Hamilton's thrive playing into that wind, and they've done a fantastic job in the second quarter with that 23-0 lead now. Cougars desperately need to make something happen here before the halftime.
16 points alone in this second quarter for Hamilton as they have taken control of this football game. Still lots of football left to go here. And now Hamilton gets the kick away and comes down deep into Cougar territory, and a nice return here coming up past the 35-yard line, still on his feet up to around the 38. And for the Cougars, looks like Bayless on the return there for the Cougars.
Ethan Bayless with a nice return.
So 38-yard line here for Chatham-Kent.
38-yard line, first down.
3-minute warning on the horizon here.
Under 3 to play. As Mike mentioned, that warning, and now it's pretty much crunch time for the Cougars offense to get on the scoreboard before halftime hits and trying to cut into this big lead for the Hurricanes. Now a pass along the near side. It is complete. A short pass, but hauled in by Jake Anderson and wrapped up by Joey DiLabio. So a completion, but not much on it for the Cougars.
No, nice tackle by Mitchell Phillips. It looked like throwing the receiver down on the ground. Good tackle, good open field tackle.
On the play brings up second down 11.
Actually, they went backwards by half a yard or so. So second and long here for Chatham-Kent. Less than 2.5 to play in quarter number 2. Once again, they will go to the air. Some big pressure here for Hamilton. Big short pass and barely back to the line of scrimmage. There is a flag that comes out in the Cougars' backfield.
85, that's a tight end.
And that looks like this is going to be a flag here. I think this is going to be for roughing the passer here. This came down in the area of where the quarterback was. Looked like it was number 23 that came in late.
That's the tight end coming.
Richards on the reception.
Tight ends coming off the field. get that out.
Yeah, it was Damien Tesoro. It was offside against Hamilton, and then the major foul on Tesoro for the hit on the quarterback.
Two penalties on the play, one for
Tight
offside,
ends,
one
switch
for
to tight
a major
ends.
foul.
So those two penalties really benefiting the Cougars right there, a fresh set of downs, and we got another flag.
And right through the hands of the intended receiver. Bullet out of the quarterback's hands.
A flag on the play.
Intended for 15.
Desmond Rush was the intended receiver there for Chatham-Kent, and just kind of looked like the football zipped right between his hands.
Yeah, almost like he misjudged it. I don't know that he realized it was coming in that fast. And it looks like the rain has started to come down here again in Chatham-Kent.
We'll go to the TB Cogeco Accutron 3000 weather radar, but it looks like it might be a wet night from here.
Brings up second down and
Has a big system coming through the area, so this might be a wet second half coming up here, so that certainly is going to affect play and maybe make things sloppy in the last half. Second and 10 here for Chatham-Kent. Near midfield, short pass, and that one
pass does fall incomplete.
was in the hands of the receiver, but falls incomplete as quickly a couple of defenders from Hamilton, come in quickly. And with 2:13 to go in this first half, another less than optimal situation here for the Cougars at 3rd and 10.
Yeah, it looked like it was Jalen Butcher who took that pretty good smack there after
Third down and 10.
the ball hitting him in the hands and wasn't able to hold on to it. Would have been short of the first down nonetheless, but would have picked up at least a couple. But again, it fell incomplete, so Cougars bring the kicking team on here, and we'll see if they do indeed kick this one away. Remember, wind at the Cougars' back now.
Kick is up from the 40, and it is a pretty good kick. Comes down to the 25 of Hamilton. And return going across the field to that far side now, and up that far sideline. Some room to move here for the Hurricanes, and a sizable return past the 45 of Chatham-Kent to around the 43 or thereabouts. So that was an impressive run back here for Hamilton inside 2 minutes to go in the first half.
And that was Michael Chevarella with the big return, who already has a touchdown in this game. Again, the wide receiver who's committed to the University of Guelph. So if you're watching some CIS football next year and you happen to catch a game with the Guelph Griffins, look for that Chevarella.
Got some good wheels for sure. Good hands, good wheels. Now the ball at the 45-yard line of Chatham-Kent. Hamilton with it, up 23-0. Quarterback dropping back again. Goes in the air along that far side and stopping at the right moment and turning around. Good job by the receiver to hold that one in. Now a late flag comes in from that far sideline.
Number 10, Connor Caracello on the pass. Flag on the play.
Another great pass from Caracello, and again that receiver streaking down that far side stopped and turned around right at that exact perfect moment to haul it in.
Yeah, it was Clark Adams who had the catch there on the far side.
Number 8, Clark.
And that's a tough play to defend for a defensive back, I can tell you from experience. When it's a short ball, the receiver certainly has the advantage and is able to stop on a dime and play that ball. A little bit tougher for the defensive back when it's that ball that's just a little bit underthrown, and then it looks like the penalty coming against the Cougars after the catch.
And what a penalty this is. This is going to bring the football very deep in Cougar territory.
Yeah.
A sportsmanlike penalty does go against Chatham-Kent.
This will be right at the 5-yard line of Chatham-Kent here, so this second quarter, one to forget here for the Cougars.
And poor Jeff Brooks on the camera's umbrella is blowing inside out.
As
Gives you
are
an
a couple
idea
of
of the
other
wind.
fans here, yeah, too. The umbrellas are taking the brunt, and they keep it on the ground. Another touchdown for the Hamilton Hurricanes as they punch in another one inside 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. And the points still keep going up on the board here for the Hurricanes.
Looks like number 30, Osai with the touchdown 5-yard run.
Osai Aginwin with the TD carry.
Trying to make it an even 30 now with the point after. And Aginwin with another score here tonight. Complete dominance in the second quarter here for the Hamilton Hurricanes over the Cougars, varsity football. As Hamilton looks to remain perfect on the very young season, trying to go 2-0, and the Cougars trying to avoid their second blowout to begin this season in their home opener here tonight. Crummy weather, and the result in the first two quarters not much different.
Although that description does make me feel warm and cozy.
Crummy?
Yeah.
The crummy?
Yeah, it's certainly a battle right now, isn't it? It's never easy in this type of situation when you've got 1:43 to go in the first half, your second game, and you're still looking to put your first points on the board for this season. So it's no doubt a challenge, but nonetheless, certainly not a point where you want to give up or you can give up. And I don't think you'll see any give up in this Cougars squad either. Just a matter of them putting things together and figuring out what players fit best in the best position and go from there. So obviously game time's a great time to learn about some of the players. Maybe you unearth some skill sets that you haven't seen yet and you make some adjustments. So you just gotta keep playing and keep coaching till you figure it out.
Line drive kick and brought in around the 25-yard line and up to the 35, close to the 40, and that's where the Cougars now will have the football and take over on offense with 1:36 to go in this long second quarter at the Community Athletic Complex here in Chatham-Kent. And the Cougars home opener, a tough go in this first half, down 30-0 now. First and 10 for the Cougars. They keep it on the ground, trying to find something up the middle. And they get up to the 40-yard line, so a gain of 2 on first and 10.
Tanner Schuin on the carry.
Schuin getting the call once again.
Well, you got to figure at some point the Cougars got to put this ball in the air maybe a little bit more.
Tight ends off the field, tight ends off the field.
Number 99, Mitchell Teal on the stop.
And we'll see if the Cougars maybe, as we mentioned, put some players in different positions. If we see some changes see some more carries at the running back and quarterback positions as well in the second half, just for the coaching squad to give some guys a chance at different positions.
Cougars dropping back to pass once again, going down the field, man open, and pass falls incomplete. Looked like that receiver had some room to work with there and just wasn't hauled in. Trying to find who that was along the far side. Kind of hard to see from this vantage point, but
no, if he threw a better ball, he was gone for sure.
Clayton Shreves, number 6.
Pass was intended for number 6, Clayton
So-
Shreve.
Shreve was the receiver that looked to have lots of room for that football, but just couldn't connect.
Yeah, Shreve had at least 2 steps on the defenders. There were 2 defenders in the area, but he had at least 2 steps on them, and had that ball been there, he was going to be gone. But unfortunately, the ball just not in the right position for Shreve to make the catch, and brings up 3rd and long now, 3rd and 9. And that's unfortunate for the Cougars. It's big plays like that are available out there on the field, but you have to make them count when they present themselves. And unfortunately for Chatham-Kent, just not able to do it right there. Another prime example of you have the opportunity, but you gotta make it count when those opportunities arise, and just not able to make it count.
Cougars with the timeout, 1:06 to go in the second quarter.
I'll repeat the number.
in a quarter that's been all Hamilton, 30-0.
7-4.
And 23 of those points coming in this second quarter alone. Cougars trying to get something going, but on 3rd and 9, they do elect to punt it away. And it's a high kick, pretty good one, comes down around the 39-yard line of Hamilton. And they begin their run back here, and some room to move through the center of the field along that far side now. Getting around a couple of defenders. Another flag comes out. Now 2 flags out.
3 flags.
Well, I think there's 3 out there now.
Number 13, Michael Cevalera.
Do we have a 4th? Anybody?
Flag on the play.
Lots of laundry. I was just zoomed in on the runners and I saw one.
And we'll get that sorted out. 49 seconds remaining on the clock now in this first half.
Boy, oh boy. I'm envisioning at least a 1-minute conference here with the officials, trying to get these flags sorted out.
Cougars again losing in week 1 on the road in Burlington, 39-0. And things not going a whole lot better here tonight in their home opener and second game of the season.
Holding and face mask.
But Hamilton, they are rolling 39-0 win last week and up by 30 here tonight, and a couple of big penalties here.
Yeah, holding and face mask.
That's what he's thinking.
So the Hamilton squad back just inside Cougars territory here. It looks to be about the 48-yard line of Chatham-Kent.
Chatham.
Timeout, Chatham.
More flags coming out now with down to 47 seconds to go in the second quarter. And things slowing down to certainly a crawl here. Under a minute to go in this first half, and I'm sure these players just want to maybe get a little warmth at halftime.
Yeah, it's amazing that this last minute or so has taken this long, considering the situation. And this one an offside against Chatham. So with 47.5 seconds to go here in the first half, Hamilton pretty good field position here.
Brings up a 1st and 5.
Inside the Cougars' 50-yard line, about the 48-yard line approximately.
Dropping back to pass, rolling off to his right, quarterback for Hamilton, and trying to find his man. And that one falls incomplete. Good effort by Billy Olds, diving to his right, trying to haul that one in, but incomplete it is. So 2nd down and 5 coming up here.
Just a little bit outside, as Bob Euchre would say.
Just a bit outside.
Bob Euchre's still calling baseball games. Amazingly
Milwaukee
enough.
Brewers.
Amazingly enough.
The terrible Milwaukee Brewers this year. 42 seconds to go. First half. 2nd and 5 for Hamilton. And down the field they go. And this one picked off by the Cougars. Well overthrown by the quarterback Caracello. And all alone. Nice job defensively for the Cougars. That was seen a mile away, that interception.
Yeah, it looked like that was number 22, Cade Hart, with the interception. Just playing center field, and Hart just pulls it in, does a nice job. As you mentioned, that ball well overthrown, nowhere near the receiver, and Hart does a good job pulling it in. Unfortunately, not able to break the tackle. Good job by the receiver to make the tackle right there, else Hart had a lot of room to run before he got back to the original line of scrimmage and make something happen, perhaps, but big turnover, 36.3 seconds to go here, though, in the first half. I don't envision the Cougars taking too many chances here in the shadow of their own goal line.
Predictably, they leave it on the ground off the right side in a short pickup on 1st and 10.
On the carry.
Three-yard pickup, high snap for the Cougars. Bring it back down, remaining on the ground. More flags coming out.
Flag on the play.
You can hear the collective sigh in the crowd.
Come on.
This one is going against Hamilton and should be enough for a first down for the Cougars, which it is. Moving the sticks, and we'll see if maybe the Cougars look to air one out here. Certainly Hamilton's going to be playing deep. I mean, with just over 10 seconds to go here in the first half. But if you're the Cougars, why not maybe roll the dice a little bit?
With so little time on the clock.
Chatham-Kent 31-yard line.
Ball up to the 31, only 10 seconds to go. 30-0, Hamilton on top. Another flag comes out, and they go to the air, and falling incomplete.
Flag down.
Well, the official's certainly getting a workout today.
Certainly in the last 5 minutes of play, it's been crazy with the flags so far. See what the second half has in store for us. A very slow-moving second quarter here. Almost to an end, only 6.5 seconds to go in this second quarter.
And that one going against the Cougars looked like maybe they were just a little bit too quick. Penalty is declined. I thought was the signal. Maybe we have multiple infractions here. There it is.
Offside call against Chatham-Kent is declined. Brings up second down and 10.
So 2nd and 10.
This could be the penultimate play of the first half here. It's gone on the ground once again for the Cougars. And nowhere to go. 0.9 seconds left to go.
Jalen Butcher on the carry, number 23.
That was possibly the longest 47.5 seconds in sports right there, folks.
Extremely long second quarter. We'll be finishing this off by morning. And this will be the last play of the first half. Mercifully coming to an end if you're a Cougars player, coach, or fan. Down by 30. 3rd and 12. And that is going to do it. That is it. And the first half is done. And it was all Hamilton in that opening 2 quarters, 30-0. The Hurricanes have the lead as they march off to their respective dressing rooms. We'll come back with more second half action from the Chatham-Kent Community Athletic Complex. The Cougars and the Hurricanes. Glad you're with us on TV Cogeco. Back here at the Community Athletic Complex in Chatham-Kent, weather deteriorating greatly in the halftime break. And the rain coming back down and the temperatures getting cooler. As we're underway here to begin the third quarter.
Marco Arif with the return on that one. And no doubt it's going to be a slick ball out there.
1 minute into the third quarter here. Again, the home opener, a sloppy one for the Cougars against the Hamilton Hurricanes. Glad you're with us on TV Cogeco. Thanks for tuning in. Mike Renier along with Mike James. And now finally that one kicked away by Hamilton. Comes down around the 30-yard line for Chatham-Kent as now they run it back the other way along the far sidelines, past the 45, up past the 50. And almost up to midfield, so some good position here for the Cougars as they're going to take over on offense, trying to mount any kind of attack here with the football. with a clean slate in this second half.
Yeah, nice return there from Ethan Bayless, number 25 for the Cougars. Good field position here to start the second half for Chatham-Kent. Again, going into that strong wind to start here.
And now they keep it on the ground. Schuin, I believe, with the carry there. And not a whole lot to work with on 1st and 10. As the wind continues to howl and the rain continues to fall here at the athletic complex in Chatham-Kent, about a 2-yard pickup for Schuin on the ground there. And 2nd and 8. See the puddle of rain increasing right at midfield, right at the center there. Tough night to play football with these conditions. 2 minutes into the third quarter. And they drop back to pass once again, and
looks like that one fell incomplete. Looks like it was intended for Jalen Butcher.
Ball's incomplete at the 50-yard line, so on 2nd and 8, that would not have been enough for the first down as it was, and they fall well short now. 3rd down coming up. 3rd down and a long 8.5. Just past the 2-minute mark of this third quarter.
And the Cougars lined up to punt this one away. Again, into that strong, strong wind.
And a low line drive kick. Comes down past the 45-yard line to around the 35. And a flag comes down in Hamilton territory. And not able to make it past the 35 are the Hurricanes. We'll see how the flag affects the ball position here.
Good tackle there from Cade Hart on Chevarella. And it's against Hamilton. Looks like it's a holding call. Oh, block in the back. Block in the back was the call.
Block in the back call against Hamilton.
So this backs up this football a lot here.
10-yard penalty brings up 1st down.
The 22-yard line is where the football is here. Keeping it on the ground along the near side. And crossing the 25-yard line, so a medium pickup on 1st and 10 here for Hamilton.
Nicholas Faria with the carry that time.
Nicholas Faria, number 31, with the carry.
Number 1. Just say number 1.
Stopped by number 1.
Second down and 5, they go to the air, and a little miscommunication as the receivers went one way, the ball went the other, and so that one flies out of bounds. So incomplete pass brings up a 3rd and 5 now for the Hurricanes. And the punting unit coming out onto the field.
Well, understandable that the offense is having a little bit of trouble getting things going, considering the conditions out on the field here this evening. Obviously, the first half looking like a bright sunny day compared to these conditions here so far.
Wind still howling.
Yeah, and to boot, it's fairly cold out. It feels like we've dropped below 10 degrees out there.
Kick goes high in the air, comes down around the 45-yard line in Cougar territory, crossing midfield. Now into Hamilton side of things. And the Cougars now will take over the football at around the Hamilton 54.
Number 22, Cade Hart on the return.
Hart brings the football into Hurricane territory. Coming up on the 4-minute mark early on in this third quarter. Still 30-0 for Hamilton. 23 of those points in the second quarter alone.
Yeah, really, obviously at this point, that second quarter standing out as the big difference in this football game.
Cougars trying it again on offense, trying to muster something here. And now off the snap, they drop the football, but the Cougars recover. And they will lose about 3 yards as that football comes backwards, and they weren't able to do much with that. Schuin does pick up the ball, but by the time he did that, he had a wall of black and orange jerseys right ahead of him.
Yeah, not much really to be done there. Actually, probably lucky to be able to pick that one up and try to make something out of nothing. And just getting a handle on that football and securing it, certainly the defenses are going to be well aware of that slick football and looking to be knocking it out of the receivers and running backs' hands as well.
After that 2-yard drop, 2nd and 12, and that one through the hands of the intended receiver for the Cougars. And that one will fall down. So Evans now the quarterback for the Cougars.
Kelton Evans' pass falls incomplete.
And it looked like that was Clayton Shreve who couldn't bring that one in. So the Evans to Shreve passing play was broken. So 3rd down and long coming up here for Chatham-Kent. So Kelton Evans back under center here to begin the second half for Chatham-Kent.
Yeah, and we talked about it earlier. Perhaps the Cougars going to make some changes, put some players in some positions where they didn't necessarily start the game, and there Kelton Evans getting at least 1 rep at quarterback, and he is listed as a quarterback, and we've seen Kelton Evans play quarterback before.
On the return for Hamilton, a little bobble there, and picked up and brought back out of bounds.
Number 13
And
on
that's
return, forced out of bounds.
Chavarella on the return. Had a little bobble by the 40-yard line, but he recovers, and Hamilton keeps the football up by 30 points, 5 minutes into this third quarter. Hamilton at their own 41. Quarterback scrambles off to his right, rolls, and the pass is incomplete, about a foot over top of the intended receiver by the 50-yard line. And 2nd and 10 coming up here.
Unfortunately, because of the weather conditions, not able to give you a number on that far side, especially with those dark jerseys for the Hamilton Hurricanes. Tough to make out here with the rain driving down and this strong wind.
Now saying Berube was the intended receiver on that pass, falling incomplete. And 2nd and 10 here for Hamilton, up by 30. Once again, Carosello back to pass, and a little screen pass comes down, and it is a reception and a first down. Nice speed there by the receivers, zooming right past midfield. And there is, again, a flag thrown out on the field, and it looks like that's going to go back against Hamilton, by the way. They're going backwards.
Joel Claremont with the reception there on that screen pass. But as you mentioned, that penalty going against Hamilton, so that'll negate the first down and a repeat of 2nd down. They're saying it was a hold against Hamilton.
Holding call does go against Hamilton.
So a nice gain washed away there for the Hurricanes. And 2nd and 20 now of their situation, so Cougars D trying to capitalize on this and get the football back in pretty short order as we've crossed the 6-minute mark of the third quarter. Low snap, but picked up by the quarterback, and a pass that is hauled in at the 40-yard line, still well short of the first down, but again, good job to fire that one out for Connor Carosello. And it actually now, sorry, with the rain, looked like that was hauled in, but they're saying now that did fall incomplete.
And that penalty, obviously a big one, because that negated the first down, and now that brings up a 3rd and long, and Hamilton in a punting situation.
So 3rd and 20, under 8.5 to play in the third quarter. I think there might have been some movement at the line there, but the football comes down, and now the football does come loose inside the 50
Ball is out.
and
Covered by Chatham.
recovered by the Cougars. So a little anxious moment there for the Cougars as they were set to return the kick, but now they do have possession, down 30 and 7 minutes into this third quarter.
Another one of the challenges when you're trying to assess some players' abilities and moving them around to different positions is really how well are you able to assess their abilities in these types of conditions, and
Right.
is it a fair assessment? But
Footing, handling the football, really every facet of the game.
but Kelton Evans getting another go at quarterback here for the Cougars.
1st and 10 for Chatham-Kent as they hand it off to the running back, cuts inside and still on his feet, heading towards midfield and now past it. Good job as they stay on the ground, and that should be enough for the first down, gain of about 11, it looks like now, for the Cougars,
Jalen Butcher with the carry.
Jalen Butcher on the
up to around the 51-yard line.
Good hard running there from Butcher. He's done a pretty nice job today carrying the football.
As indeed, absolutely. So now into Hamilton territory. Cougars with an impressive run there.
Yeah, Butcher and Schuin, no doubt the workhorses for this Cougars squad here this evening.
Low snap. Again, they keep it on the ground. Past the 45-yard line. Looks like they dove close to the 42. So another impressive run
Chewing on the
that time. And they give it back to Schuin. Again, that kind of two-headed monster on the ground for the Cougars.
Now, I think it's just a matter of, looks like the ground game's in pretty decent shape. It's the Cougars have got to get that passing game sorted out at this point and have it become a threat.
brings up second down.
So hopefully as the season wears on, they're able to get some explosiveness to their air game as well.
7-yard run for Schuin. 2nd down and 3 to go for Chatham-Kent. Again, low snap, some trouble handling onto the football. Quarterback looks like he's keeping it, trying to get those 3 yards for the first down, but unable to do so.
Ball snap kept by Kelton Evans.
And broken play right off the snap there. Some difficulty hanging on to that football, and
Be on the stop.
Evans couldn't improvise quite enough to get to that first down marker. It looks like he barely got to the line of scrimmage, maybe even backed up a half yard. So 3rd and 5 now. And it looks like they're going to go for it and try and get those 5 yards as they keep it on the ground once again for Schuin, trying to work hard to get that first down, and he's going to be, I believe, a little short.
Chewing moves.
Yeah, maybe a half yard short, a yard maybe.
I see the official word, but I don't think he got what he needed to. Looks like he is a little bit short, and this could be a turnover on downs, sending this back to Hamilton, and it looks like that's exactly what it is.
Just a bit short. Ball be turned over on down.
Nice try, though, on a 3rd and 5 by Schuin. He tried to turn his legs just enough, but didn't work out.
It came up about maybe just over a yard short on that one, and
Hamilton will be getting their own
well, certainly a position of the field where there's no harm in gambling.
Rain appears to be coming down even harder now. Hamilton gets the football back, under 5 to play in the third quarter. And they elect to keep it on the ground on 1st and 10, bowling his way past the 45-yard line to the 46. And that one carried by Feria, Nicholas Feria on the ground, getting
three on with the carry.
one of his
Down.
very few carries so far in this game.
The officials sorting out the flag here, and it's offside against Chatham-Kent.
Chatham-Kent. Replay first down, 1st and 5.
Five-yard penalty against the Cougars. 1st and 5 for Hamilton. And that's going to go backwards as the quarterback was thrown back quite a bit there. And a short pass, and they didn't get quite to the line of scrimmage. So good job there defensively for the Cougars to back that football back a couple yards. So this looks like it's going to be about a 2nd and 8, maybe 9, maybe a 4-yard loss on that play.
Looked like it was Braden Fields, 35 on the tackle there, the linebacker. Nice job getting outside and avoiding the blockers on that screen play and making that tackle.
Under 4 to play in this third quarter. 30-0 for Hamilton as they have the football. Pass play, and that one hauled in by 31 for the Hurricanes past the 45-yard line. And a catch for Nicholas Faria.
Nicholas Faria on the catch.
And Alexander Formosa with the tackle there. A good job on that tackle because he was the only defender in the area. And good sure tackle, making sure he comes up short of that first down and forcing Hamilton into a punting situation.
Brings up a 3rd down and 4.
Just barely getting that kick away. And it falls out of bounds around the 30-yard line for Chatham-Kent.
Looks like the ball's going to be spotted at the... Looks like it'll be at the Chatham-Kent 25-yard line.
They're saying around the 25 is where this football will be. 3:03 to go in the quarter number 3. And the Cougars down by a sizable amount, 30-0 against Hamilton.
Oh, no, I'm good. You're good.
Keeping it on the ground and only a couple of yards on 1st and 10 as they come along the near side. 2.5 to play in the third quarter. So the Cougars will have 2nd down and long coming up here.
That wasn't shooting? Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
Gabe Gagne on the carry that time around.
Gabe Gagne rumbles up the side.
I didn't see his number. I just looked at his...
Gain of 5, 2nd down, 5. Thank you.
Yeah. They only go for the right guy.
Out of the shotgun formation, and the quarterback keeps the ball, fake to Schuhen, but again the quarterback can't complete, and the ball falls incomplete around the 35-yard line. So 3rd and 7 now coming up here for the Cougars again as they fail to convert with the football.
Just stepping outside the booth to get a real good look at the conditions, and boy, it's really teaming down under the lights. You can really see it, just a constant shower that hasn't let up at all since the beginning of the second half. And it's been indicative of the scoreboard. Really, no score here in the second half. Just both offenses struggling to get anything going.
And 3rd and 7, unsurprisingly, the Cougars back to punt it away. Getting some good air underneath that one, actually, and it's falling around the 50-yard line. So the Cougars failing to get the football out of their own side of midfield. So great field position for Hamilton again as they take over the football. Under 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. They are in control, up 30-0. And you mentioned it, Mike, really, it must be very difficult to play on a night like this.
Yeah, I mean, certainly Hamilton won't be pressing to put points on the board with a sizable lead, but nonetheless, you're certainly trying your hardest to gain ground on the field. But these field conditions, the footing, all of it just makes it extremely challenging. And it really levels any kind of playing field when you're dealing with this kind of weather, despite the fact that both teams have to deal with it.
And on the ground, right back to the line of scrimmage for Hamilton, so no gain on that one.
Stopped by number 83, Denver Brown. Second down, 11.
Looks like they dropped half a yard, so second and 11, back to pass once again, and a nice pass right in on the between the numbers of the receiver. And some positive yards there for Hamilton.
Pass caught by number 3.
And Aldis Witola hauling that one in. Third down, and it's a little short of the first down, so 2 yards to go before they move the chains. And they're going to go for it with the 2 yards between the football and the first down marker. So in a 30-0 lead, they're going to go for it. And on the second effort, they're going to get it as the running back crosses the 35-yard line with authority. And an easy first down and an injured Cougar along the near side.
Nicholas Faria on the carry.
Looks like that is, I think, Carter Wood, who's the slightly banged-up Cougar, but he's heading off the field under his own power as the siren will signal just one play left in the third quarter.
Flag on the play.
In the final play of the quarter, there's some laundry on the field. Another flag thrown. Beginning the fourth quarter, Hamilton with the football, a pass along the far side on a 1st and 15. And I think they're saying incomplete, and now a flag is coming out.
Have a late flag on the play.
So no score after, or no score through the third quarter, and it remains a 30-0 lead for Hamilton as we await the start of the fourth quarter. On a miserable rainy night here in Chatham-Kent.
Sorry about that, Mike. The officials calling the head coaches over for both teams. I wouldn't be surprised. Looks like they might be going to a running clock here. No. Looked like he had a message to both coaches for each respective squad. So maybe some chirping between the two benches, perhaps.
Maybe after that objectionable conduct penalty. And a pass incomplete here for Hamilton as we're underway in this fourth quarter, and a lopsided 30-0 lead for the Hamilton Hurricanes.
Good play there by Jacob Broad, the defensive back, getting up there just as the ball arrived, make sure it fell incomplete. Brings up third down here and long.
Third and 19 here. Now back for the Cougars off the punt. And the return will bring it past the 40-yard line. So Chatham-Kent will get the football back here with just under a minute gone by in this fourth quarter.
I know you've been keeping an eye on the radar in the region.
Turned out to the 40
Got a pretty big system in the area.
Looks like it's going to rain all night. I don't think it's going to let up for a few more hours here, so we'll be playing the rest of this football game in a steady shower, to put it mildly.
Ball on the ground there. Looks like that was maybe fumbled on the exchange between Kelton Evans and Schuin.
Number 30 on the recovery. Cole. Brings up second down, 14.
Clock continues to run here. Second and very long for the Cougars. 14 yards left to go. Quarterback rolls off to his left and now tries to find a hole, and now double teamed, and now the football comes out, but I think the whistle blew right before the ball came loose.
Quarterback keeper.
Boy, Kelton Evans did not have a lot of time at all. He really, I don't even know that he had enough time to set his feet before he had at least two defenders collapsing the pocket and was forced to tuck and run and try to find a receiver. By that point, he was being pulled to the ground, and as you mentioned, the whistle goes before that ball comes loose. Cougars going to be forced into a punting situation here.
Third down, 17.
Losing 3 on that play, so 3rd and 17.
Yeah, not a great offensive possession there for the Cougars after that fumble snap on the first down, and then that sack for a loss on the second down.
From their own 32. Very low snap, dug out of the turf, and getting the kick away still at the 50-yard line. In and out of the fingertips of Samuel Berube.
Hamilton, 50-yard line.
And the 50-yard line is where this football is going to be now. For Hamilton, we've played almost 3 minutes into this fourth quarter, and a lopsided lead here for the Hurricanes.
Yeah.
I want to see it go screw you.
From the 50, they keep it on the ground. And now a long run here, finding a seam along that far side. A big gain here for Hamilton inside the 30-yard line. And a 25-yard plus run for the Hamilton Hurricanes as they find a seam and they run down the field.
Looked like that was Nicholas Faria with a carry of about 34 yards on that run. Nice job by Faria before he was finally dragged down in Cougars territory.
Once again, the quarterback back to pass. A little screen pass, it's complete. And now yards after the catch, going right towards the end zone. And do they make it in for the score? Yes, they do. It is a major for Hamilton. And they increase their lead now to 36 as they find Pater just shy of 4 minutes into the fourth quarter. And more points now on the board. And the first time since the second quarter for the Hamilton Hurricanes, they extend their lead.
Yeah, 36-0 now, pending the extra point, of course. But nice run there on that screen pass. The Cougars unable to sniff it out and able to avoid a couple of would-be tacklers and taking it to the house for the score on that touchdown scamper of about 26 yards. The extra point is good.
Point after attempt is good.
So 37-0 lead here for Hamilton. In complete control here in the fourth quarter with just over 11 minutes to go.
Off the major score. Kick fielded by the Cougars. They bring it inside the 40-yard line.
22 carried the ball. Just say 22.
And it looks like around the 41, 42-yard line, that'll be your starting position this time around for the Cougars. Still trying to find, and now a penalty flag comes out close to the 50-yard line, well after that play ended.
Yeah, this is clearly some jawing going on the field now.
I don't have one.
That one against Hamilton.
Objectional conduct against Hamilton.
So now each team has had one of those called against them. The objectional conduct in this football game, so some rough stuff happening.
Ball is at the Chatham-Kent 52-yard
So
line.
we'll take a look to see who's quarterbacking this series, and looks like it is Kelton Evans back out there again, number 7 for the Cougars.
Yeah, it's counting.
Evans back to pass, and he throws it downfield and close, but it looks like it falls incomplete as he was trying to find his receiver going down that far side for a big completion, but
Pass intended for Jake Anderson.
it doesn't work out. Anderson is streaking down that far side.
Yeah, Jake Anderson and Kelton Evans, we've called before at the previous level, junior varsity, where they connected a number of times. And obviously now their first seasons at the varsity level, looking to make that combination happen. Looked like that one, Anderson had a shot at it, but just couldn't pull it in.
2nd and 10 as we come up on the 5-minute mark of the 4th quarter. Evans trying it once again, and looks like the receiver getting his wires crossed a little bit at the last moment, diving to his right to try and hold that one in. And it falls incomplete.
Pass intended for number 15.
That's Desmond Rush, who couldn't quite hold that one in from Evans. And that brings up 3rd and 10.
Oh, yeah, okay.
3rd down and 10.
Cougars having a little trouble with the snap, but they do get the punt away, and looks like that falls out of bounds along the far sideline by the Cougars bench past the 45-yard line.
Yeah, another directional kick there by Josh Graham, aiming for the sideline, negating any kind of a positive return from the Hurricanes.
Looks like they're spotting the ball at about the 43-yard line of Hamilton.
Kennett's kept on the ground, past the 50-yard line to around the 52.
Yep.
109 and a half to go.
No, 20 minutes.
Well, they're going to pull the sticks out and measure this one.
Yeah, so when I go like this,
Certainly in a contest like this one, you want to make sure you've got every inch accounted for.
It's a nail biter, I'll tell you. 37-0.
Coming up here.
Hamilton Hurricanes up on the Cougars. Again, the home opener for the varsity squad. In danger of falling to 0-2 on the young season for 2015. On the flip side, Hamilton poised to make it 2 wins in a row to start the campaign.
They are just a bit short.
Chains brought out. And now 2nd and inches coming up here.
Down in inches.
And predictably, they keep it on the ground to get that less than a yard for the first down, and they do that with ease.
First down.
And again, they will move the chains. So first down coming up here for Hamilton.
Up the number on that running back? Even with the binoculars?
It looks like it said 50.
No.
35?
55 year lineman.
On 1st and 10, they drop back to pass and go deep down the field and overthrowing the intended receivers, 2 of them in the area by a couple of yards, and it falls incomplete. So going for some big yardage there, falling
Brings up second down.
a little bit past the receiver. So 2nd and 10 coming up here for the Hurricanes.
Well, on the positive side of things, the rain has certainly let up a little bit, and doesn't seem like the wind is blowing quite as hard as it was earlier as well. So we might see the offensive units start to see a little bit more success here.
On 2nd and 10, shovels it back to the running back, and good job by the Cougars defense. And it backed up the running back all the way to the 45-yard line of their own territory. So a significant loss on that play for Hamilton. A little bit of tenacious D there for the Cougars. And that will force Hamilton to punt on a big 3rd and long coming up.
Yeah, Axum Polk with the carry there, number 32.
Kenny Levesque in on the stop, number 24.
Obviously one of the backup running backs for this Hamilton squad. Good job by the Cougars defense clamping down there.
Line brings up third down and 19.
Under 8 to play in this 4th quarter, 7:43 and counting. Third and 19. They're taking a timeout. The Hamilton Hurricanes are. So we'll talk things over.
Yeah, this is a 4th quarter, right?
Yeah, this is the 4th quarter.
And off the timeout, they get the punt away. Now the Cougars grab the football. Nice little move there by the return man and past the 40-yard line. 45 still on the feet up to around the 47. Good job by the Cougars. Looks like that was Ethan Bayless who had the return. So a nice little move there for Bayless. Nice agility, and he was able to get a decent return on that one.
Yeah, it was a nice job. He eluded the first would-be tackler along the sideline, then cut it back across the field where he had a little bit more room to roam and wasn't cornered in against that sideline. And pretty decent little pickup before he's finally dragged down. Good coverage there from Hamilton as well, not allowing him to bounce that all the way across the other side of the field. Cougars starting this possession at their own 47.
1st and 10 here for Chatham-Kent, and the quarterback, Evans, elects to throw it, and just a little underthrown. Trying to get it up to the 40-yard line.
Jalen Butcher nearly able to pull that one in just off the fingertips, and falling to the ground incomplete. Maybe just a little bit more under that one, and that was a completion.
2nd down and 10. Clock back running, under 7 to play. 4th quarter, 37-0 for the visitors from Hamilton.
Oh, we got a timeout on the field. Looks like it was...
Yeah, the bench too. Our bench called it. See if I could do it.
Timeout, Chatham Kent.
Kelton Evans, the quarterback for the Cougars, trots over to the sideline to speak with the coaching staff.
Back off the timeout. 6.5 to go in the fourth quarter. And now Evans up the middle of the field. That one very close to getting picked off by the Hamilton Hurricanes. And it looks like that was Sam Restivo, who was right there. Almost got his
Sam Restivo
paws on it.
Kelton Evans' pass.
Yeah, that pass intended for Jalen Butcher, just running up the middle of the field. Just not quite on target there, and as you mentioned, nearly picked off, but does fall incomplete.
That brings up 3rd down and 10 for the Cougars. The punt does get away and falls out of bounds close to the 30-yard line.
The Josh Graham punt goes out of bounds.
Graham with a good boot there.
It's about the 31-yard line of Hamilton.
Now the ball comes loose.
Hamilton does recover the fumble.
So Hamilton does recover it off that initial fumble. Falling forward for about a yard gain on that one. 5:14 and counting left to go in this football game.
Loss of one brings up
And
second
still a
down.
37-0 lead for Hamilton. Well, the quarterback had nowhere to go with that one, and looks like there's an injured Cougar on that last play.
Connor Carasello taken down by number 33.
Yeah, nice sack there by Carter Wood coming off the edge,
Number
but
33, Carter
was
Wood.
injured on the play. It really looked like a harmless play
We do have an injury
as he was
time.
almost tagging the quarterback down on the ground. Looks like they're tending to his lower body. And now a 3rd and long situation where Hamilton lined up to punt this one away into that. Well, what earlier was a strong breeze. Unfortunately, now it's a little bit difficult to see the flag and what kind of wind we do have.
Time winding down on this one, under 5 to play, 4:37 and counting. Kicked high in the air by Hamilton, comes down around the 45-yard line.
22 had the ball. 22 carries the ball.
Cade Hart there scooping up the ball on full speed and brought down nearly immediately. 4:14 to go, and you just know that the Cougars would love to put some points on the board and erase that 0 up there and this scoreless streak here at 7 quarters and over 8 minutes.
It's pretty much their goal now, looking to get first offense and first points of the season. And again, they keep it on the ground on that far sideline.
Schuin with the carry that time again. Pretty safe bet at this point that it's either Schuin or Butcher.
Going with your big guns tonight. They have had the lion's share of the carries and the plays offensively for the Cougars, who have been ground heavy.
Nathan Edwards on the stop. second down, 5.
Second and 5 for Chatham-Kent. Trying to get the chains moved here as they bust right up the middle. Good run here. This looks like it's going to be enough to get the first down, and that's more than enough as they cross the 30-yard line.
Nice push there from the offensive line.
We've hit the 3-minute warning in this fourth quarter. And the Chatham-Kent Cougars trying mightily to get that goose egg off the scoreboard and get their first points of this season in the waning moments of their second game.
And not only was it a nice run between the tackles, but then at the end finishing it off, a couple of offensive linemen in there to give that extra push for some extra yardage.
Once again, they push forward on the ground, this time not nearly the run of that previous play.
Well, if that strong breeze still exists, I'd say that they're in field goal range.
Gain of a couple on the play brings up
3 yards is what they're saying on that gain on the ground. And they keep it on the ground once again.
He'd gone down the carry.
And only maybe 3 or 4 on that pickup there, but still short of the first down. Maybe close to 5 on that pickup, but it's still a good 2.5 yards shy.
And it sounds like that wind's starting to pick up again.
Brings up third down and 3.
And looks like they're going to go for it here.
Third and short 3 as we're closing in on 2 minutes to go in this game. Cougars trying to push forward and get the first down. And now, lots of flags. And now some rough stuff between the two teams are happening, and tempers are certainly boiling over with 2 minutes to go in this football game. And about 3 flags came piling out almost simultaneously, and pushing and shoving ensuing.
Yeah, it looked like there was a block there at the end where the Cougar player had taken the Hamilton player down, and I don't think he took to it too kindly, and there was some retaliation afterwards, and the official was standing right there, and that's where the flags came out. And then we saw that bit of a skirmish, so we'll certainly get the call from the official shortly here. And looks like one of the Hamilton players has been ejected here.
Objectionable and
Took a while to get that sorted out after that rough stuff. 2 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter.
And it came after the play, so the Cougars were short on their first down attempt on third down. So it's Hamilton's football now on their 1 yard line.
30 yards.
They can only take it down to 1.
Ball will be spotted at the Hamilton 1 yard line.
Very deep in their own zone, 1 yard line. And a very short gain.
we got somebody down.
Gain of 5 on the play brings up second down and 5.
They got half of the distance for a first down, so second and 5 here, just under 2 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. It looks like there's another injury on the field.
Number 70.
Josh Kidda limping off for the Cougars, number 70, the defensive end.
Second and 5 from around the 5-yard line, scrambling towards his own goal line, trying to find his man along the near side. And was it picked off or was it out of bounds? Looks like very close. Are they calling? They're calling it was an interception. Wow, nice job there by the Cougars as they get possession of the ball back, and still a minute 28 to play with here in this fourth quarter.
Stepped out of bounds at the 35-yard line of Hamilton.
That's number 5 misplay.
So a nice job by the Cougars D, and they still have a chance here to maybe get some points on the board.
Oh, the referee. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, Cade Hart with the interception there.
Yeah.
Number 5, that's John Barrett.
Good play on the football. It was certainly close along that sidelines. A little bit surprised that he was able to keep his feet in.
Yeah, that was mighty close, but they call it the INT. The 35-yard line, the Cougars will, for all intents and purposes, have one more shot on offense to get some points on the board before the end of this game. Looking to pass on 1st and 10 along the near side. And that over
Kelton Evans' pass falls incomplete.
throws the receiver by a couple of feet over his head, and that will bring up 2nd and 10.
On the Hamilton 35-yard line.
Now they run it up the gut past the 30-yard line. Good run there on 2nd and 10 for the Cougars.
Gabe Gagne on the carry.
Gabe Gagne.
Little short for the first down, but a good run nonetheless by Gagne on 2nd and long.
Yeah, good strong run there from Gagne. Nice to see that along that left side, and brings up a manageable 3rd down situation here.
Down and 2.
About a 7.5 run there from Gagne, 7.5-yard run.
Oh, and it looks like they're going to line up for a field goal attempt here.
There's a 94 out there. Is that what you're saying?
With that strong wind at their back.
Yeah.
94 was getting there.
So see if we can get first points on the board here. Under a minute to go in the fourth quarter. And now, snap is low. And that was a broken play, and it doesn't work out. And that's going to pretty much do it for this football game as the
Clayton Shreve
Hamilton
recovered
club
below
keeps the
snap.
Cougars off the board.
Field goal attempt is no good.
Number 6.
Hamilton will start at their own 38-yard line.
Oh, they're going to take a knees. Okay.
Yeah, there's only 2.
Looks like Hamilton is just going to run off the clock, the line at last half minute. And ride off into the sunset here with a 37-0 win. And
Well, it certainly was a long one, and it wasn't aided by the forecast here in the second half.
The final score is Hamilton Hurricanes.
so that was a rough night for the Cougars varsity club. They fall at 0-2 on the young season, 37-0. They lose to Hamilton. And And on the flip side, the Hurricanes improve to 2-0 as they rack up another good amount of points tonight, and they keep the opposition off the board again, so they have still not allowed any points through 2 games. And they have scored a whole boatload of points, 39 in the opening game, 37 tonight.
Yeah, and certainly on the flip side, the Cougars going to be looking to turn their fortunes on offense around. Unfortunately, held off the scoreboard once again for the second straight game here. So, no doubt, going back to the drawing board and look to get their offensive production clicking heading into next weekend.
So hopefully the Cougars can start to turn things around. We'll follow them right throughout the spring and summertime of 2015. Next week, another game for the Cougars and the varsity squad. On behalf of Mike James, Jeff Brooks, and the rest of the TV Coach Co crew, again, the final score, 37-0 Hamilton beating your Chatham-Kent Cougars. My name is Mike Renier. Have yourself a wonderful night, and thanks for watching Chatham-Kent Cougars, TV Coach Co.